Hey everyone, Dan here again. Now in this video, I'm actually going to show you how to change and clean and set up, your strings on your electric guitar. Now, this particular guitar that I got has a Floyd Rose, and they're one of probably the most difficult to change your strings on. And with my help, hopefully we'll get through this pretty easy, and you'll be able to pretty much do it on your own fairly quickly. So, anyways, let's get started. First thing you're gonna need some tools. Okay, I got a pair of wire cutters here. Got a pair of pliers, which basically I'm going to use to hold the bridge up because this is a floating bridge. And an Allen wrench, tuner, pack of electric guitar strings, 10 gauge D'Addarios to be specific. Alright, so let's get started. First thing that I do is over here I pull up the whammy bar here, and I'm going to stick my pliers under the bridge like so, just to hold it up on its own. So when I loosen the tension on the strings here, it's not going to fall down. Now we take our Allen wrench, okay, and we got these locks up here near the neck. You can see those. There's 3 of them. I'm going to take them out just by turning them counterclockwise. Take them out. I'll set them right there. I don't knock them off the table here. Alright. So, let's just get started by loosening the tension on the strings here. Just crank them, make them go flat. Just go through each one, just loosening it. So. So we got all our strings nice and loose. Our bridge is still standing up on its own with the help of the pliers right here. You don't have to use pliers, you can use anything, whatever you can stick in there. It's plastic just to help hold it up while you're working on it. Now my guitar, I use this thing a lot, and the bridge tends to rust, so unfortunately the strings don't pop out as easily as they should. As you can see here, see how some of it is really rusted. Now what I'm going to do to help loosen up the blocks here, I'm going to take some of this CLR and just give it a good spray on there. Make sure you don't touch this stuff with your bare hands because it tends to burn a whole lot. It does eat the rust and lime and anything else off of metal. So you don't want to touch it with your bare hands. Okay, we're going to let that sit for a little bit. In the meantime, if you don't have a Floyd Rose guitar or a floating bridge, you might just have a regular fixed bridge guitar. I got an example here. This is my Squier. I don't really use this thing anymore, but basically the only real difference is between stringing this type of guitar, this electric guitar, is the holes are in the back, just like the acoustic video I showed you, where the holes would be right behind the bridge. With your electric guitar, they're just going to be in the back right here, and you just feed them in through You don't have to do anything really. It's pretty simple. Just stick your string in right here. It'll come up top. You just pull it through like so, and then wrap it around your headstock. That's right here, and twist your tuning key there, and just go along doing each one, filling in the holes. Okay. Alright, let's see how this is doing. Okay, so I had some paper towels around here. Where did those things go? 1 second. Alright, there we go. I'm just gonna wipe off the excess stuff here. You probably won't even have to do this, you know, but this is what I have to do, unfortunately, because my bridge is pretty old, and I use this guitar the most out of all my guitars, so it gets quite a beating. Gets a lot of use. Alright. What you want to do is you take the same Allen wrench here. And so you unlock it, crank it counterclockwise. It'll unlock it there. On these pegs here at the end. See these right here. These things. And just do one string at a time. Okay. Just twist this. And this will help loosen up these little individual blocks. You can see them right there. Yes, you can. And you loosen up the block will move backwards, and you'll be able to pull your string out. Now, in my case, I have to use this little watchmaker's tool because they're so rusted. Now once I loosen them, then I gotta jam this thing in between the block and the string and push the block back that way. And we pull out the string like so. And you just take it out of the top there, and we got our 6th string off. Go to the next one. Same thing. Stick your Allen wrench in the end of these things here. Specifically, I think they're called saddles. Oh, that's what the guy told me. That normally sets up my guitar for me. Push it back again. Yeah, this thing is disgusting, but it's what you get for playing for hours and hours a day, every single day. Another one. One thing I have to do, I have to readjust my pliers here and move them down so I can keep accessing these saddles here. Starting to come out a little easier. Maybe not. This back. Okay. Really, the only difficult part of changing strings with your Floyd Rose, it's a little bit more tedious. But I've gotten used to it over the years, and you do it enough times, it's not a big deal. There we go. This one's always a pain for me. First one, there we go. Alright. As you can see, all the strings are off. So, now we're going to clean it. I don't have my all-purpose cleaner up here with me. I'll have to go get that. Sorry again. I'll be back in a minute. Alright. Well, unfortunately I don't have, a typical 409 or anything like that, so I have to use Windex, unfortunately. But you can basically use any all-purpose cleaner to clean the body of your guitar. It's gonna made out of plastic generally, so anything like that will work great on it. Just to get the dust off, then all the dead skin, pick dust here, between the bridge. Alright. Going through, giving it a good wipe down on the front here. And wipe down the headstock up here. Good once over. Make it look a little bit nicer. Alright. Now to clean the fretboard here, I'm using this wood soap again. what I like to do is go through and just wipe each individual fret. Just make a straight out palm with your fingers and just go through and just rub each fret as best you can to really pry the grime off of it. Oh, you get that? Going through trying to get as much dirt and grime off here as I can, because this will affect the life of your strings and the tone of your guitar or not. This is what the strings are always in contact with, and you would not believe how dirty your fingers can make this. Okay, got the fretboard clean now. Now we can start putting on the strings. Open here. Now in this case, I'm going to start with high E first, which is actually your first string. So look here, and the way this company packages them, okay, your first string here, okay, it's going to have a silver ball on the end. Pull that out. Set the purple one here. Let's see, silver ball right there. And what you want to do is you want to clip the end of it off like so. Okay. And then you stick it in the front of your saddle here, right in between the block. Okay. You want to make sure it's at the base of the saddle. You put it in there. And you're going to tighten the back end clockwise, and you're going to try and hold the string down as you can. Make sure that's flat, and just tighten your saddles here till the block is nice and snug and square against your string. Hope I didn't strip this wrench. Not stripping this. Okay, I think that's tight enough. You just bring it up here. You want to stick it in this first groove right here on your neck. Again, this is a Floyd Rose guitar. If you have a regular fixed bridge, it's not going to have these. You'll just have your typical nut across thing, and they'll have a little bit of a tiny groove to them. You just stick them in there with these. Make sure they're in there. Okay. So basically, we're not going to tune it all the way up. We just want to put some tension on it. Alright, again, go to your next string, your 5th string, to be your B string. Cut off the ends again. Stick it in front of the block in the groove here on the next saddle. Okay, we got that one tight. Put it through your hole here. Make sure it's in that next pair of grooves right next to the string that you just put in. And just tighten it a little bit. Make sure it's flat. Okay, so we got 2 in. 4 more to go. Now, if you don't use use D'Addarios. These are all color coordinated. Now, if you don't use those, the strings will come in basically 1 string per package, and I'll say on the package what gauge the string is and ultimately what the name of the string is. You can just do it that way. But I like these particular strings because you can easily beat the hell out of them and they won't snap or anything, especially with your Floyd Rose guitar. You're constantly doing the crazy tremolo bar stuff. You're constantly bending the strings here. So you need a really strong string for this. Stick it in your block here. One of the blocks is a little crooked, so I'm just going to take my watchmaker tool here and make sure it's nice and level. Try to get it level. Alright, you know what? I'm going to just back it off a little bit, loosen the saddle up more. Put your Allen wrench in the tail end here, crank it counterclockwise. Alright. Again, make sure that you're getting these strings down to the bottom of the saddle and not just the middle, because when you tighten up they're gonna pop out and have to start all over again. So make sure that they're in the bottom the first time to avoid this problem. Crank it in. Make sure that's snug. Sticking it through groove here. Pull on it a sure it's nice and flat. Okay, there's an interesting thing. Alright, I seem to have put in the wrong string in the wrong spot. So, no big deal. All you have to do is just loosen this end up. Make sure this end's loose. We're out here. And all I'm gonna do is just clip off the bent part, because it will bend with all the tension. Just clip off this little broken end here. So string is nice and straight. And we'll just stick it in the D slot where it belongs. Push too hard with the wrench here. Again, just don't tighten them too much. You just want them to be snug. Put that one in that groove. Okay. Now we're gonna put our G1 in here, which I should have done first, but I got a little messed up. I'm not used to explaining this and talking to a camera at the same time as I do this. So bear with me here. Okay. Stick that in there, like so. Make sure it's level. In front of the block, not behind it. I had a friend one time, he put it behind the block. I was wondering why his guitar wouldn't tune up right. Took one look at the bridge, you could see it was not uniform with the other strings. And we had a hell of a time pulling that thing out. We did get it out though. All right, 2/3 of the way done. Pull off these last of the thickest strings here. Be your E and your A string. Okay, now let's make sure I do this one right. Okay, my 5th string, it's got a red ball on it. So, go ahead and stop this video. I'm going to pick up the next